Hello friends, welcome to my channel at the Power of Book. How are you all? I hope you're doing great. Today's book is Rewire, which explains how we can rewire our brains to transform our lives. So, let's get started. Introduction. The struggle within. Why do we keep doing things we know are harmful? Why do we find ourselves repeating the same mistakes, trapped in cycles of procrastination, overeating, addictions, or toxic relationships? These are questions that haunt many of us as we wrestle with the dissonance between what we want to do and what we actually do. In Rewire, change your brain to break bad habits, overcome addictions, conquer self-destructive behavior. Richard O'Connor opens the door to understanding the intricate mechanisms of the human mind that make change feel so elusive. O'Connor describes self-sabotage as a silent thief, robbing us of our potential, happiness, and health. It's not laziness, weakness, or lack of willpower that keeps us stuck. It's the way our brains have been wired over time. We are prisoners of our habits, hostages of the automatic brain that operates on autopilot, repeating behaviors we've practiced for years. Yet, the beauty of being human lies in our capacity for growth and change. The author invites us to embark on a transformative journey of self-discovery and empowerment. He blends the latest findings from neuroscience with practical strategies to show how we can take control of our lives. Through heartfelt examples and insightful storytelling, O'Connor assures us that no matter how entrenched our habits may feel, we have the power to rewire our brains and create the lives we desire. This book isn't just a guide to breaking bad habits, it's a manifesto for hope. It reminds us that while the journey of change is challenging, it's also profoundly rewarding. It's a call to action to stop being our own worst enemies and start becoming the architects of our futures. With compassion and clarity, O'Connor encourages readers to face their flaws without judgment, embrace their potential, and commit to the hard work of rewiring their brains. As you turn the pages of Rewire, prepare to confront the parts of yourself you may have ignored or misunderstood. Be ready to uncover the emotional roots of your habits and discover the tools to reshape them. Most importantly, open yourself to the possibility of transformation, because change isn't just possible, it's inevitable for those willing to put in the effort. Let's dive into the profound insights and actionable strategies that Rewire has to offer, beginning with the foundation. Understanding the battle between the automatic and conscious parts of your brain. Chapter 1. Understanding the brain's duality. The opening chapter of Rewire unveils the central struggle in human behavior, the conflict between the automatic brain and the conscious brain. O'Connor likens this conflict to having two minds, each with its own strengths and weaknesses, yet often working at cross purposes. The automatic brain. The automatic brain is a powerhouse of efficiency. It is responsible for handling the millions of tasks and habits that make daily life manageable. From brushing your teeth in the morning to instinctively hitting the brakes when a car stops in front of you, this part of the brain ensures survival by automating repetitive behaviors. However, its efficiency comes at a cost. The automatic brain doesn't question whether a habit is good or bad. Once established, patterns like smoking, overeating, or lashing out in anger become default responses to certain triggers. Over time, these behaviors are reinforced, making them harder to break. The conscious brain. The conscious brain, on the other hand, is the seat of self-awareness, critical thinking, and long-term planning. It's what allows us to reflect on our choices, set goals, and imagine better versions of ourselves. But it's not without its limitations. The conscious brain is slower, more energy-intensive, and prone to fatigue. The disconnect. The real problem arises when these two systems fail to align. For instance, you consciously decide to lose weight and set a plan to exercise daily. But when stress hits, your automatic brain leads you to comfort food because it associates eating with relief. You want to quit procrastinating, but your automatic brain's habit of seeking immediate gratification keeps pulling you toward distractions like social media. This disconnect creates frustration and self-blame as we feel powerless against the automatic responses that derail our goals. O'Connor emphasizes that this is not a matter of willpower, but biology. The automatic brain has evolved to prioritize efficiency and survival, often at the expense of self-improvement. Stress and the brain. One of the most significant barriers to aligning the two brains is stress. When under pressure, the conscious brain shuts down and the automatic brain takes over. This is why people often relapse into bad habits during difficult times. They are not consciously choosing those behaviors, but falling back on ingrained patterns. Key insight. The first step to change is awareness. By understanding how the automatic brain and conscious brain function, we can begin to recognize when the automatic brain is driving our actions and take steps to regain control. Chapter 2. The Roots of Self-Destructive Behavior. In this chapter, O'Connor dives deep into the origins of self-sabotage, unraveling why we often act in ways that harm our well-being. He explains that self-destructive behaviors are not innate. They are learned, often as coping mechanisms for unresolved pain, trauma, or unmet needs. Childhood conditioning. O'Connor highlights how childhood experiences shape our behaviors. For example, a child raised in a critical or perfectionist household may internalize the belief that they are never good enough. This belief can manifest as chronic perfectionism, procrastination, or even self-punishment. A child exposed to neglect or instability may develop habits like overeating or substance abuse as a way to self-soothe in adulthood. These behaviors often become unconscious patterns, reinforced over time by the automatic brain. The role of emotional pain. At the heart of self-sabotage lies emotional pain. Behaviors like addiction, procrastination, and self-criticism are often attempts to avoid or numb uncomfortable feelings. For instance, addiction. People may turn to alcohol, drugs, or gambling to escape feelings of inadequacy or loneliness. Procrastination. Fear of failure or rejection often drives procrastination, as delaying action temporarily protects us from facing those fears. The guilt-stress cycle. Self-destructive behaviors frequently lead to guilt, which compounds stress and reinforces the very behaviors we are trying to escape. O'Connor calls this the guilt-stress cycle, a trap that can feel impossible to break without self-awareness and deliberate action. Breaking the cycle. The key to breaking this cycle lies in identifying the underlying emotions and triggers driving the behavior. Once these triggers are understood, they can be addressed with healthier coping strategies. Key insight. Self-destructive behaviors are not flaws of character, but deeply ingrained patterns rooted in emotional pain. By addressing the emotional roots, we can begin to dismantle these behaviors and replace them with healthier alternatives. Chapter 3. The Science of Change. This chapter is where O'Connor introduces hope, the brain's ability to change, or neuroplasticity. He assures readers that no matter how ingrained a habit may seem, it can be rewired through consistent effort. Neuroplasticity, the brain's adaptability. Neuroplasticity refers to the brain's ability to form new neural connections throughout life. Every thought, action, and behavior strengthens certain neural pathways while weakening others. This means that by consistently practicing new habits, we can override old patterns and create lasting change. The challenge of rewiring. While neuroplasticity offers hope, O'Connor cautions that change requires effort. The brain resists change because it prefers the familiar, even if the familiar is harmful. For instance, A person trying to quit smoking may find themselves craving cigarettes during stressful moments because their brain associates smoking with relief. To overcome this resistance, it's essential to 1. Commit to consistency. Repetition is key to forming new habits. 2. Embrace discomfort. Growth often involves stepping outside your comfort zone. 3. Practice self-compassion. Forgive yourself for setbacks and keep moving forward. Mindfulness as a tool. Mindfulness, or the practice of being fully present in the moment, is one of the most effective tools for rewiring the brain. By observing your thoughts and emotions without judgment, you can disrupt automatic responses and choose healthier actions. Key insight. The science of neuroplasticity offers a powerful message. You are not defined by your habits. With consistent effort and mindfulness, you can reshape your brain and create the life you want. Chapter 4. The Power of Awareness. Awareness is the foundation of breaking self-destructive habits. In this chapter, O'Connor emphasizes the importance of observing our thoughts, feelings, and actions without judgment. By becoming more aware, we can recognize when the automatic brain is taking control and choose to engage the conscious brain instead. What is awareness? Awareness is the ability to see ourselves clearly, our habits, emotions, and triggers, without being swept away by them. It's about noticing the moment you reach for a cigarette when stressed, or the instant you decide to skip a workout, despite your intention to exercise. O'Connor explains that most of us live on autopilot, performing daily tasks and making decisions without thinking deeply. This lack of awareness allows self-destructive habits to persist. Mindfulness and observation. Mindfulness is a practical tool for cultivating awareness. It involves observing thoughts, paying attention to what's happening in your mind without trying to change it, naming emotions, identifying feelings like anger, sadness, or fear as they arise, pausing before acting, taking a moment to decide whether your actions align with your long-term goals. The challenge of facing ourselves. Self-awareness can be uncomfortable. It forces us to confront aspects of ourselves that we may prefer to ignore, such as our insecurities or the ways we sabotage our happiness. However, O'Connor stresses that this discomfort is necessary for growth. He shares the story of a woman who struggled with binge eating. Through mindfulness, she realized that her binges were triggered by feelings of loneliness. By addressing the root emotion, she was able to replace the behavior with healthier coping strategies. Awareness and choice. Awareness creates space between stimulus and response. Instead of reacting automatically, we can pause, reflect, and make a conscious choice. For example, instead of yelling in anger, take a breath and consider a calm response. Instead of reaching for junk food, acknowledge the craving and opt for a healthier snack. Practical exercises for building awareness. 1. Journaling. Write down your thoughts and behaviors to uncover patterns. 2. Body scans. Pay attention to physical sensations, such as tension or restlessness, as clues to emotional states. 3. Mindful breathing. Focus on your breath to center yourself in the present moment. Key insight. Awareness is the first step toward change. By shining a light on our habits and emotions, we gain the power to break free from automatic behaviors and make intentional choices. Chapter 5. Replacing self-destructive behaviors with positive habits. Breaking a bad habit is only half the battle. The other half is replacing it with a positive one. In this chapter, O'Connor explores how to fill the void left by self-destructive behaviors and cultivate habits that align with your values and goals. The psychology of replacement. When you remove a habit, you create a gap in your routine. If this gap isn't filled with a healthier behavior, the old habit is likely to return. For instance, A smoker who quits may feel restless without their usual cigarette break unless they find a new way to relax. Someone who stops overeating might feel lost without their emotional crutch unless they develop alternative coping mechanisms. Identifying replacement habits. To replace a self-destructive habit, ask yourself, 1. What purpose does this habit serve? E.g., stress relief, distraction, comfort. 2. What healthier behavior can meet the same need? E.g., exercise, meditation, creative hobbies. Steps to building positive habits. 1. Start small. Break the habit into manageable steps. For example, if you want to start exercising, commit to 10 minutes a day instead of an hour. 2. Anchor to existing habits. Attach the new habit to something you already do, such as meditating after brushing your teeth. 3. Reward yourself. Celebrate small victories to reinforce the behavior. The role of willpower. While willpower is necessary to initiate change, O'Connor warns against relying on it alone. Willpower is like a muscle. It can become fatigued. The goal is to automate positive habits so they require less conscious effort over time. Examples of positive habit. Replacement. Replace scrolling on your phone with reading a book. Swap emotional eating for journaling or calling a friend. Trade watching TV for going on a walk. Key insight, replacing bad habits with positive ones, is essential for lasting change. By focusing on what you want to build rather than what you want to eliminate, you set yourself up for success. Chapter 6. Emotional Healing and Self-Compassion. Self-destructive behaviors often stem from unresolved emotional wounds. This chapter focuses on the importance of healing those wounds and cultivating self-compassion as a foundation for change. The role of emotional pain. Many self-sabotaging habits are attempts to avoid or numb emotional pain. For example, someone with low self-esteem might overwork to prove their worth. A person grieving a loss might turn to substance abuse for escape. O'Connor emphasizes that healing requires acknowledging and processing these emotions rather than suppressing them. Practicing self-compassion. Self-compassion involves treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a friend. Instead of criticizing yourself for mistakes, recognize that everyone struggles and that imperfection is part of being human. Strategies for emotional healing. 1. Therapy. Seek professional help to work through trauma and develop coping skills. 2. Journaling. Reflect on your feelings and experiences to gain clarity and insight. 3. Meditation. Use mindfulness practices to calm your mind and reconnect with your emotions. 4. Support systems. Surround yourself with people who uplift and encourage you. Key insight. True change begins with emotional healing. By addressing the pain behind your habits and treating yourself with compassion, you create a strong foundation for growth. Chapter 7. Overcoming Resistance to Change. In this chapter, O'Connor delves into one of the most common barriers to personal growth: resistance to change. Despite wanting to break free from self-destructive behaviors, many people feel stuck in patterns of inertia, fear, and doubt. O'Connor compassionately explains why this resistance exists and provides strategies to overcome it. Why we resist change. Resistance to change is deeply rooted in both our psychology and biology. O'Connor identifies several key reasons. Comfort in familiarity. Even harmful habits feel safe because they are predictable. Change introduces uncertainty, which the brain often interprets as a threat. Fear of failure. Many people avoid change because they fear they won't succeed. This fear often stems from past experiences of trying and failing. Emotional attachments. Self-destructive behaviors may serve emotional purposes, such as numbing pain or providing a sense of control. Letting go of these behaviors can feel like losing a part of oneself. Cognitive dissonance. People struggle with the gap between their current behavior and their desire for change. This internal conflict can lead to avoidance or rationalization of bad habits. The cycle of change. O'Connor introduces the concept of the change cycle, which includes the following stages. 1. Pre-contemplation, denying there's a problem or refusing to acknowledge its impact. Second, contemplation, recognizing the need for change but feeling uncertain about how to proceed. 3. Preparation, developing a plan and gathering the resources needed to make a change. Action 4. Taking concrete steps to replace bad habits with positive ones. 5. Maintenance, sustaining the change and preventing relapse. Understanding this cycle helps readers identify where they are and what steps to take next. Practical strategies for overcoming resistance. 1. Start small. Break the change into tiny, manageable actions. Small wins build confidence and momentum. 2. Visualize success. Imagine your life without the self-destructive habit. Focus on how it would feel to achieve your goals. 3. Create accountability. Share your goals with someone you trust or join a support group. Accountability increases commitment. 4. Anticipate obstacles. Identify potential challenges and prepare strategies to overcome them. 5. Celebrate progress. Acknowledge even the smallest achievements to reinforce positive behavior. Key insight. Resistance to change is normal and human. By understanding the psychological and emotional barriers to growth, you can develop strategies to move forward with courage and confidence. Chapter 8. The Role of Gratitude and Positivity. O'Connor explores the transformative power of gratitude and positivity in this chapter. He argues that cultivating a positive mindset can accelerate change and improve overall well-being. The science of gratitude. Gratitude rewires the brain by shifting focus from what's wrong to what's right. Research shows that practicing gratitude increases levels of serotonin and dopamine, the brain's feel-good chemicals. This not only improves mood, but also enhances motivation and resilience. How gratitude helps break habits. Self-destructive behaviors often stem from negative thought patterns, such as self-criticism or feelings of inadequacy. Gratitude disrupts these patterns by encouraging a mindset of abundance and appreciation. For example, instead of berating yourself or skipping a workout, you can feel grateful for having the ability to exercise at all. Instead of resenting your job, you can appreciate the opportunities it provides. Practical gratitude practices. 1. Gratitude journaling. Write down 3 things you're grateful for each day. 2. Express appreciation. Tell someone you value them or thank them for their support. 3. Mindful gratitude. Pause during the day to notice and appreciate small joys, such as a beautiful sunset or a kind gesture. The role of positivity. Positivity is not about ignoring challenges, but about choosing to focus on solutions rather than problems. A positive outlook increases resilience, making it easier to bounce back from setbacks and stay committed to change. Key insight. Gratitude and positivity are powerful tools for rewiring the brain. By focusing on what you have and what's possible, you create a fertile ground for lasting transformation. Chapter 9. The Importance of Self-Care. In this chapter, O'Connor emphasizes the vital role of self-care in breaking free from self-destructive behaviors. He explains that self-care is not a luxury, but a necessity for physical, emotional, and mental well-being. Why self-care matters. Many self-destructive habits arise from neglecting our basic needs. When we are sleep-deprived, stressed, or overwhelmed, we are more likely to rely on unhealthy coping mechanisms. Self-care restores balance and resilience, making it easier to make positive choices. The dimensions of self-care. O'Connor outlines several dimensions of self-care. 1. Physical, eating nutritious foods, exercising and getting enough sleep. 2. Emotional, allowing yourself to feel and process emotions without judgment. 3. Mental, engaging in activities that stimulate your mind and reduce stress, such as reading or meditating. 4. Social, building supportive relationships and setting healthy boundaries. 5. Spiritual, connecting with something greater than yourself, whether through religion, nature, or personal reflection. Barriers to self-care. Many people view self-care as selfish or unimportant. O'Connor challenges this mindset, arguing that taking care of yourself is essential for showing up fully in your relationships and responsibilities. Practical self-care. Tips: schedule regular downtime to recharge. Practice saying no to demands that drain your energy. Seek activities that bring you joy and fulfillment. Key insight: self-care is an act of self-respect. By prioritizing your well-being, you build the strength and clarity needed to overcome self-destructive habits. Conclusion: becoming your best self. The final chapter of Rewire ties together the book's themes, offering a message of hope and empowerment. O'Connor reminds readers that change is a journey, not a destination. While setbacks are inevitable, each step forward brings you closer to becoming the person you want to be. The journey of rewiring. Rewiring your brain is a process that requires patience, persistence, and self-compassion. O'Connor urges readers to embrace the journey with an open heart, celebrating progress while forgiving themselves for missteps. The power of commitment. True transformation begins with the decision to commit fully to the process of change. This commitment is not about perfection, but about consistently showing up for yourself, even when it's hard. A final call to action. O'Connor closes with a powerful call to action. Take responsibility for your growth. Treat yourself with kindness and respect. Believe in your capacity to change. Key insight: the journey to breaking self-destructive habits is challenging but profoundly rewarding. With awareness, compassion, and determination, you can create a life that reflects your highest potential. I hope you liked this book summary. For more such book summaries, please like, share, and comment on my video. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks a lot for watching this video. Bye-bye. See you soon.